Welcome back to Beacon English Podcast.
It's great to be diving into today's topic.
Yes, definitely. We're looking at something quite specific today. It's less like a typical language lesson and maybe more like, well, a blueprint for how the brain learns to speak.
That's a good way to put it. We have this really detailed plan, an instructional guide for teaching real-life English conversation.
And it's aimed squarely at beginners, right? Like folks around the A2 to B1 level.
Exactly. That stage where, you might know some grammar, maybe quite a bit, but actually speaking in a real conversation, that's the hurdle. You freeze up.
You've been there. So this material we're examining, it's basically the script and structure for an audio program.
It is, and it's built entirely around this one core technique called shadowing. It makes some pretty bold claims, doesn't it?
It really does. It talks about bypassing the usual stress of learning, offering this structured step-by-step way to get fluent in conversation.
Our job today, then, is to really unpack this plan. It promises automatic fluency, which sounds amazing.
Automatic fluency. Yeah. We need to figure out what that means in this context, pull out the core ideas, understand why they think it works so fast, and importantly, lay out the practical steps for you, the listener.
Right, because the big hook is achieving this fluency without, burying yourself in grammar books for years. The secret, according to this method, is all about copying.
Copying? Like repeating?
Well, yes and no. It's more like copying the music of English, the rhythm, the tone, the melody, almost like you're learning to sing a song.
Okay, interesting. So less about rules, more about sound and rhythm. How does this echo idea actually work to stop you from translating in your head all the time?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's get into it.
All right, segment one then. Let's break down this shadowing technique. What exactly is it?
The material is very, very specific here. It's crucial to understand this isn't just repeating words after you hear them. That's common practice, but it's not shadowing.
Okay, so not listen, pause, speak.
No. Because in that pause, your brain does what it usually does. It analyzes, thinks about grammar, maybe translates.
Right.
Shadowing, as they define it, is much more intense. You have to listen and speak at the exact same time, simultaneously.
Whoa, okay, at the same time.
Yes, you're trying to copy the words, the rhythm, the intonation, everything, as the speaker is saying it, not after.
That sounds incredibly difficult, especially for an A2 learner.
It is difficult, and that's kind of the point. They use this great analogy. You need to be like an echo following right beside the voice.
There's an echo right beside it, not lagging behind.
Exactly. Perfect timing is the goal.
Yeah.
You're trying to ride the sound wave, not wait for it to crash on the shore.
But practically, if I'm still figuring out basic sentences, how do I listen and speak together without my brain just shutting down? Auditory overload.
But that overload is intentional, see?
Yeah.
It's part of the design. Your brain is getting this flood of sound input, and at the same moment, it's being forced to produce output coordinating your mouth, your tongue. And because it's so demanding, it actually stops your brain from doing its usual trick, which is translating everything back into your native language.
So it forces you out of that translation habit.
Right. It makes you process the sound purely as sound, as rhythm, as melody, rather than as words that need decoding and translating first.
So the focus shifts. It's more sensory, less analytical.
Precisely. The material really emphasizes this, training the mouth, tongue, ears, and brain to work together as one unit, feeling the rhythm, copying the sound that comes first, understanding every single word. That actually comes later.
That's counterintuitive for language learning. Usually, comprehension is king.
It is. But think about it like music. They use this comparison.
Yeah.
It's like singing along with your favorite song before you know all the lyrics.
Okay, yeah, I do that. I definitely hum along or copy the sounds before I know what I'm actually singing.
Exactly. You focus on the rhythm, the melody. You might get words wrong, but your mouth and your brain are working together to copy the structure of the sound. Shadowing takes that idea and applies it to spoken language.
Let's try their example. We'll say it clearly. Listeners, try to say this with us right as we say it. Ready?
Okay.
It's a beautiful day today. Pause twos.
Now, that little pause we just had, in the actual program, that's the moment for you, the learner, to practice that simultaneous speaking you just attempted.
But it's not just saying the words back.
No. It's about trying to capture the shape of the phrase. Did you notice how the sounds link together? It's a beautiful day today.
Yeah, it's not, it is a beautiful day today, pronounced slowly. It flows.
Right. And the stress is mainly on boo and day. It's a beautiful day today. Copying that is the goal.
So if I were a typical learner, I might stop and think, okay, it is beautiful as an adjective.
Exactly. You go into grammar mode,
Mm.
but with shadowing, you bypass that. You're just working on the muscle memory for the sound pattern.
Which gets back to that core idea,
Yeah.
shifting from academic stress to just feeling the language.
And that feeling, that physical act of speaking along
Mm.
is what they claim leads to the big prize, automatic fluency.
Meaning, you can say that phrase naturally in conversation without having to stop and construct it piece by piece.
That's the idea. It becomes readily available, like a reflex.
Okay, the mechanics make sense now, simultaneous, rhythmic copying. So why? Why does this work? Let's dig into the benefits they claim this technique offers.
Right, the strategic why. The biggest claim, I think, is that shadowing basically forces integration. It stops learners treating listening and speaking like two totally separate skills.
Which they often feel like, don't they? You practice listening comprehension, then separately, you practice speaking exercises.
Yeah, but in real conversation, they happen together, or at least very rapidly, one after the other. Shadowing makes them one single, synchronized process in your brain during practice.
And when you sync them up like that, what are the immediate payoffs? Speed? Pronunciation?
Both, apparently.
Oh.
For listening, your brain gets faster at catching those natural, sometimes messy English sounds. You know how native speakers squish words together?
Oh, yeah, like, did you eat yet becomes jeet yet.
Exactly. Or I am going to becomes I'm going.
Yeah.
Shadowing trains your ear to pick up those fast, reduced forms because you're forced to say them that way, too.
Ah, okay. And for speaking.
Pronunciation gets clearer, is the claim, because you're copying real speech patterns, not the super clear, slow-motion English you sometimes hear in textbooks.
Textbooks often sound, well, like textbooks, not like people actually talking over coffee.
Precisely. Real speech has ups and downs, stresses, linked sounds, dropped sounds, things grammar books don't always teach. By mimicking native speakers directly, you start to absorb that natural musicality.
But the big one, the real aha moment they push, is this idea of thinking in English, right? Getting away from constant translation. How does shadowing supposedly achieve that?
This is probably the most significant claimed benefit, that constant back-and-forth translation. It's what keeps so many learners stuck at that intermediate plateau.
It's exhausting, too. You hear English.
Then step 2, translate it into your language to understand it.
Then step 3, think of your reply in your language.
Step 4, translate that reply back into English.
And finally, step 5, try to say it. It takes forever and it's clumsy.
It uses up so much mental energy. And the delays are huge. Shadowing, because it demands you speak right now, supposedly cuts out steps 2, 3, and 4.
How?
Well, the theory is the sound input goes straight to the part of your brain dealing with sound and immediate verbal memory,
Okay.
and then routes directly to the motor control for speaking, without stopping off at the translation department first.
Like building a direct pathway. Sound in, sound out.
Kinda, yeah. You're building muscle memory for the sound patterns,
Right.
not necessarily deep processing the grammar of each one immediately. It's about pattern matching.
Which would definitely make you faster and feel more confident because you're not doing mental gymnastics for every sentence.
Exactly. Less calculation, more reaction and reproduction. The aim is to make common phrases and rhythms automatic.
The material also mentions flexibility, right? Not just sticking to their audio tracks.
Yes, which is smart. Keeps it interesting. They encourage using things you enjoy, podcasts, songs, maybe short bits from movies. Find voices and content you like.
And they bring in emotion, too. I liked that example. Repeating a movie line, like, I can do this, but copying the feeling.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's crucial. Let's try it. Say it like you really mean it, with power. Ready? I can do this. Pause. Twos.
It feels different saying it like that. More real.
It sounds different too.
Yeah.
Your pitch changes, your volume, your speed. It's not just flat words. And that reinforces their formula. Rhythm plus emotion. Natural English.
So it's not just mechanical copying. It's about embodying the feeling behind the words.
Turning it from a drill into something expressive, something memorable.
And making it practical seems key, too. The idea you can practice anywhere. Walking, cooking.
Driving, cleaning. Yeah, that's huge. It means English becomes part of your daily routine, not just homework you have to sit down and do.
Integrating it into life. That probably helps move it from short-term memory, like cramming for a test, into something more automatic, procedural.
That's the goal. Making it a low-stress habit, not a high-pressure task.
Okay, so we understand the what and the why. Let's get really practical now and look at the how. What are the specific steps they lay out? The 4 steps to shadowing mastery.
They break it down very clearly, obviously aiming to make it feel manageable for beginners. Step 1 is Well, it's simple but vital. Listen carefully first.
Don't just jump in.
No, you need to really hear the pattern, the melody, the rhythm you're about to copy. Get it in your head first. Input before output.
Makes sense. Okay, step 2.
Step 2 is the main event. Repeat together. This is the simultaneous speaking part. Match the speaker's timing as closely as you possibly can.
This is the hard part, where you have to resist analyzing.
Exactly. Just focus on matching the sound and the rhythm.
Then step 3.
Step 3 guides your focus. Concentrate on the rhythm, the emotion, and the melody. They stress that getting the flow right is initially more important than getting every single word perfect.
So the musicality is key. If you sound natural, people understand you better, even with simple words.
That's the idea. Good intonation and rhythm carry a lot of meaning.
And the final step, step 4.
Practice a little every day. Consistency. They are really reassuring here, saying even 5 minutes is a good start.
Almost 5 minutes. That removes any excuse, really.
Pretty much. They emphasize that regular, short practice is much better than one long, tiring session once a week. Build the habit.
Let's try modeling that practice again, focusing on the melody and how sounds link up, like they suggest. The phrase is, I need a cup of coffee.
Okay. First, just listen to the music of it. I need a cup of coffee.
Hear that. Nita becomes Nita, and cup of becomes kupa.
I need a cup of coffee. The main stress hits cuppa.
Right. I need a cup of coffee. Okay, now listeners, try to say it with us, matching that flow and rhythm. Ready? Pause fours.
And remember the message they keep repeating. Learning happens through repetition, not perfection.
It's okay if it wasn't perfect, if the timing was a bit off or you missed a word.
Totally okay. Just doing it consistently is what matters. That's how the progress happens.
They also suggest using certain types of phrases for practice, ones that are naturally energetic.
Yeah. Short, common phrases that usually have a bit of punch to them. Things like, let's go.
Or, that's amazing.
Sounds good.
I got it.
These kinds of phrases almost demand you say them with some energy and clear intonation. Practicing them makes your spoken English feel more alive, more ready for real interaction.
Not just flat reading.
Definitely not. And I love that little tip they included.
The dancing one.
Yeah. The idea that some learners actually find it helpful to dance a little while shadowing.
It sounds funny, but it makes sense, connecting the rhythm of speech to physical movement, like tapping your foot to music.
Exactly. It engages more of your brain, uses your body to help remember the rhythm. It kind of anchors the sound pattern physically. It really shows this method is about engaging the whole person, not just the analytical brain.
Okay, this is all great on technique, but what about the actual words? What language content do they focus on for these A2B1 learners needing practical conversation skills? Let's look at the conversation curriculum part.
Right. The specific phrases. The key phrase bank they provide is very practical, very focused. It's all about short, common phrases for everyday social situations. The kind of thing you need immediately when you meet someone, or say, grab a coffee.
Like basic greetings and responses.
Yep. Things like, how's it going?
And a simple reply. Pretty good, thanks.
Or the more casual, what's up?
Followed by, not much, just relaxing. You know, standard small talk fillers.
Absolutely. And then phrases for simple actions or agreements. I'll grab a coffee.
Sounds good.
And essential ways to end a chat. See you later. Or take care.
It's not fancy vocabulary. It's the basic nuts and bolts of connecting with people. Survival English for socializing.
That's exactly it. Designed for immediate use. And the instructions emphasize how to practice these, focusing on the intonation, the melody.
Right, that rising and falling pitch. They say copy the melody to sound natural.
It's so important. Take, how's it going? If you say it flat, how's it going? It sounds bored, maybe even unfriendly.
But with that little lift at the end. How's it going?
It sounds interested, open, friendly. Copying that melody is crucial for communicating the feeling, not just the words.
To show how these phrases work together, they include that sample dialogue, the morning routine one.
Yeah, it's a neat little example putting the pieces together. It shows a realistic, simple interaction.
Let's break that down. What's the structure?
Super simple. Greeting first, then a bit of small talk, then someone states their intentions, and finally, a farewell.
Sure.
It uses those key phrases in context.
So lines like, morning, Emily, how's it going? That's the greeting.
Exactly. Then you get a relatable little line like, I can't start my day without it, talking about coffee. It's not deep, but it builds connection.
It's natural filler. And then the polite closing, hope it goes well.
Yeah. And the practice recommendation for this dialogue is really interesting.
The repetition schedule.
Right. They suggest repeating that exact dialogue 3 times every single day. morning, afternoon, and maybe before bed.
3 times a day. Why so specific?
It seems like a deliberate use of spaced repetition timed throughout the day. The idea is to keep cycling through those specific sounds and rhythms regularly, so they move from being conscious effort to unconscious habit faster.
Ah, hitting the brain with the same pattern at different points in the day to really solidify it?
Seems like it. By day's end, you've reinforced that whole mini conversation 3 times. The goal is faster recall, smoother speaking, and even better hearing when someone uses those phrases with you.
Making it truly automatic for that specific situation.
That's the aim. Ready for you to use next time you bump into someone in the morning.
Okay, we've got the technique, the benefits, the steps, the content. What about making sure it sticks? Let's talk about reinforcement and assessment. How do they make sure learners feel like they're succeeding?
This part is cleverly designed for motivation. They have something called the Shadowing Demo Pack.
Demo pack. What's in it?
It's a set of short lines, but interestingly, they aren't really conversational phrases like the others. They're more like positive affirmations.
Oh, like what?
Things like, I'm feeling great, or we can do this, and I'm proud of myself.
Okay. And the last one.
A commitment. I'll keep practicing every day.
So why these phrases? How do they help?
It seems purely for psychological boost. Immediate positive reinforcement. The material literally says that if you, the learner, manage to repeat any of those along with a speaker, even badly, then you already did shadowing.
Instant win. Lowers the bar for success right at the start when it feels hardest.
Exactly. Gives you that little dopamine hit, makes you feel capable, validates the effort.
Smart. And then they check understanding, too, with a quiz.
Yeah, a quick mini quiz. It's not testing the English phrases themselves, but checking if you understood the method, how shadowing works.
Why is that important?
Because it empowers you to continue learning on your own. If you understand how it works, you can apply it yourself later. It uses active recall, making you pull the information out of your memory.
All kinds of questions.
Very basic recall of the core ideas. Question 1. What is shadowing? The answer they want is listening and repeating at the same time.
Okay. Question 2.
What's the first step of practice? Answer. Listen carefully first.
And the third.
Name 2 benefits. Answer. Improves pronunciation and builds confidence. Simple checks, but they lock in the key principles of the technique.
And they wrap up this section with more encouragement.
Loads of it. Encouraging a big clap for yourself, saying mistakes are fine. That constant message, consistency matters more than perfection. It's all about managing learner anxiety.
And they finish with that powerful phrase.
I believe in myself. Yeah. It directly links the language practice to building self-confidence, which is often half the battle in learning to speak, overcoming that fear.
Definitely. Okay, let's bring it all together. Final takeaways and the challenge they issue.
They do provide a really concise recap for the learner, hitting the main points again.
What are they?
Shadowing. Listen and speak together. It helps you sound natural. Remember the 4 steps. Use short, energetic phrases. Focus on intonation and emotion. It's a neat summary.
And didn't they add one more small but interesting tip in there?
Oh yeah, the smile. That smile changes your voice more than you think.
It really does, doesn't it? When you smile, your whole vocal tone seems to lift. You sound friendlier, more open.
Physically, it actually changes the shape of your vocal tract slightly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you often sound clearer, maybe more confident. They're making that direct link. Feel happy, sound confident. Happy English is confident English.
And they mentioned this applies everywhere, right? Listeners in India, Pakistan, Brazil, Japan. Overcoming that translation hurdle is universal.
Absolutely. It's a global challenge for learners.
So for listeners who are thinking, okay, I want to try this, what's the concrete homework? The 7-day challenge?
Yes, this is the call to action. It's very specific and very achievable.
What's the task?
Choose one short dialogue, maybe that morning routine one we discussed, or something similar,
Okay, just one.
and repeat it using the shadowing technique 3 times every day for 7 days straight.
3 times daily for a week. Manageable. But how do you know if it's working?
The measurement part. This is crucial. Record your voice doing the dialogue on day 1.
Okay.
Then practice for the week. On day 7, record yourself doing the same dialogue again.
And compared the 2 recordings.
Exactly. This moves it beyond just feeling like you improved. You can actually hear the difference. The flow should be smoother, the rhythm more natural, the intonation clearer.
That objective proof must be really motivating. Seeing or hearing the progress.
Huge motivator. It shows the technique works if you stick with it. And the whole approach really makes fluency feel more accessible. It's about small steps done every day.
Takes away the need for expensive classes or tons of free time, puts the control back in the learner's hands, fitting practice into their life.
Wherever they might be.
So, summing up the real value here, it's a practical, low-anxiety path to actually speaking. By hammering away at rhythm, sound, emotion through simple repetition.
It helps bypass that grammar analysis paralysis that trips up so many beginners. Fluency starts with feeling the music of the language, not just memorizing the rules.
Right. We saw how much emphasis they put on rhythm, emotion, even physical movement like dancing.
It all points to engaging more than just the logical brain.
So, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As you go about your own language practice, think about this. What if you deliberately tried to inject more feeling into it?
Yeah, like really mean what you're practicing. Could choosing a specific emotion, maybe joy or determination or even just playful confidence, actually change how well you remember and use new phrases?
Don't just say the words next time. Try saying them with feeling, maybe even with a smile.
You might just make a difference.
Yeah.
Apply that say it with feeling idea, see what happens.
We really hope this breakdown gives you a concrete tool to try, something practical to help unlock your conversation skills. Keep practicing, keep experimenting.
And remember, consistency is key. You can definitely do this.